Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Psychosin Project, here today with another episode of Incoming, your one-stop show for upcoming albums. And today we'll be reviewing the debut album, I believe it's a debut album, by a band called The Great Discord. The album is called Duende. I don't know if I'm actually pronouncing that right. This will be released on June the 1st, I do believe. Obviously, being press, essentially, I got a pre-release copy, so I'll be reviewing that for you today and telling you whether it's worth picking up when it's released. However, first of all, who the hell are the Great Discord? Well, as usual, let me tell you. Music in itself is a natural catharsis for this. Utilising Duende, it allows for philosophical and psychological embodiments, an event for all things human. Love, hate, joy, sorrow, ecstasy, despair, ambiguity, apathy, helplessness, alienation, loneliness, strength, weakness. Emphasising the dark, the Great Discord is an attempt to conceptualise this, to musically explore the boundaries of ourselves, an attempt to confront and to understand. And that is how the About Me on their Facebook page reads. The members of the band currently are Fia Kempe on vocals and clav, whatever clav is, Axel Holmgren on drums, Andre Axel on guitars, Gustav Allenberg on guitars, and Rasmus Carlson on bass. The first track is The Aging Man. Now this starts with a quiet piano playing a slow melody, building up the atmosphere for the song and the album to follow. Then there's some Devin Townsend style guitar playing that joins in, still rather relaxed but haunting. Drums join with some pounding along with bass and some backing vocals. The band then stops and then comes crashing in with some superb singing from the vocalist. A nice almost gent style riff and melody supports the singing, reminding me of a band called Tamera, who unfortunately I believe only released one album. If you've never heard them, go check them out, excellent band. Anyway, we then break down to a very Dream Theater style section with the slow progressing bass and acoustic sounding guitars before we go back to the electric guitar riffing. We then slow down to drums and guitars, then just drums and bass. Then we go back to the chorus with those awesome impassioned vocals over the top. We then end with a stop-start riff that breaks down into the main riff at the beginning of the song, and then we fade out. Up next is Deus Ex Homine. Again, no idea if I actually pronounced that right, I hope so. Anyway, this starts with a single guitar playing the melody, drums then pound, and we're into a mid-paced number when the vocals join in. Keyboards play in the background to add to the atmosphere of the song. The song breaks down to an almost jazzy feeling part before going back into that mid-paced riffing, almost reminiscent of Latter Day Enslaved. The song continues changing between these two styles to superb effect throughout the song. At the 3-minute mark we get a slow-paced solo being played by a single guitar that is almost Pink Floyd-like in its sound. Then the vocals herald the band coming back in at mid-pace, livening up the song again. The song ups in intensity until the last 30 seconds, where we have just vocals and a single guitar fading out to the end. Track number 3 is, I believe this is pronounced Eigengrau. Don't quote me on that. Now this starts with fast pounding drums even. Then we go into a Meshuggah style heavy riff. The vocals then come in over the top, adding a human feeling to the sound. I know it sounds weird, but You'll know what I mean when you hear it. We then enter a surprisingly catchy chorus riff. This could end up being a song that absolutely kills when played live. Again, another great performance by the vocalist on the song as we go back again to that fast, thrashy Meshuggah riff. We break down to just piano at the 2-minute mark with some bass and vocals. The band then comes back in and we're into a completely different melody and at mid-pace now. We then get the obligatory guitar solo being played perfectly by the guitarist, because who else would be playing it? Bit of a stupid thing for me to say, but anyway, a song then that perfectly, takes you on a journey through different styles and paces. The song then comes to a sudden end. Track number 4 is L'Homme Mauvais. No idea how to pronounce that properly, to be honest with you. I do apologise if I've just completely insulted half a country. I don't speak this language, I'm afraid. Anyway, this starts with the vocals and a stop-start gent style riff backing the vocals up, with occasional piano back up the vocals too. We then get to the main riff, which is huge, and then we go into some real gent-style melody until we go back to the riff at the beginning of the song. At the 2-minute mark, we break down to a haunting slow pace and drum beat with occasional piano and ambient guitars. We then go back to the mid-pace riffing from before, and the song starts to increase in pace as the vocalist's singing gets more and more passionate. We get another run through of that huge epic chorus to take us through to a sudden ending. The song halfway through the album is Selfaeta, or Selfaeta, or Selfaeta. I'm not sure, it's one of those weird symbols where the A and the E kind of joined together. I think it's pronounced O as an O, so I think it's pronounced Selfaeta. Anyway, that's enough buggering about how to pronounce the title. No offence to the band. Anyway, this starts with keyboards playing almost creepy horror movie style melody. Guitars then fade in, the drums pound, and we have a slow pounding riff and drums reminiscent of those first few classic notes from Black Sabbath's very own Black Sabbath track. The drums then pick up the pace and we're into another superb mid-paced riff. We get a nice head-banging sort of style riff for the chorus with another excellent vocal performance. Then we get some male vocals coming in and scream, adding another layer of heaviness to the song and album. The screaming vocals then take us to another ambient section with maniacal laughing in the background. We then return to the riffing and fast-paced drumming from the start of the song, which takes us through to another sudden end. Track number 6 is called A Discordant Call. That was a weird sentence. Anyway, this starts with a low voice saying something that I couldn't quite hear, because I'll be honest, my hearing is a little bit screwed up at the moment, which is why it took me a while, like about a week, to do another review. But anyway, that's for a vlog. Saying something, then we're into some very discordant sounding guitars and keyboards playing, backed up by a slow drum beat. The vocals then join the song, adding a touch of surrealism to it. The guitar then play a jazzy, genty style riff, and the pace of the song increases, with the riffs almost having a thrashy feel to them. Sorry, thrashy feel to them. I do apologise for that. We stop, have a keyboard player high note 3 times, then we're back to the mid-paced riffing from before. This then leads us back to the slow discordant sounds from the beginning of the song. At the 2.5-minute mark, we get a slow-paced discordant guitar solo. For the last minute, we get a very slow building up riff that then back in that mid-paced riff from earlier in the song, that leads us to a Meshuggah style riff that ends the song suddenly. Track number 7 is called Woes. Now this starts with ambient sounds and a lone guitar playing over the top, again bringing to mind Devin Townsend's solo work. The haunting vocals then join in, adding to the incredible atmosphere of this song. The drums then start playing a slow beat along with the bass guitar playing helping to drive the song alongside. We then reach the chorus where a choir joins the lead vocalist and sing along with the piano playing the lead melody. The song continues this way between the 2 styles until we get a mellow guitar solo coming in at the 3.5-minute mark, backed up by nothing but piano. We then return to the chorus with a bit more heaviness added by the guitar. This takes us through to the end of the song where we return to the ambient sounds from the beginning, and the song fades out. Up next is a track that makes me wonder whether Metal Blade Records sent me this album just to laugh at me attempting to pronounce the song titles. But anyway, up next, I think it's pronounced Angra Mainyu, or Mainyu. One of those two, that's how it's spelled. Anyway, now this starts with ambient keyboard sounds, then guitars and drums come crashing in before the vocals come in, drifting superbly over the top of the chaotic riffing. Drums and bass then lead the melody while the vocals continue. We reach the chorus and the guitar comes back in with a superb winding riff. We then go back into the chaotic riff, bringing to mind British band Sixth. Anyway, everything breaks down to a slow-paced melody played by guitar, bass and drums. There's big doses of gent chaos present throughout this song, but are held together superbly by those incredible vocals of the lead singer. We then come to the end of the song with chaotic riffs flying all over the place, and then we come to another sudden end. The last song on the album is also the longest song on the album. Now this starts fading in with guitar and bass playing a slow melody. Sounds of a thunderstorm are playing in the background. Then the band crashes into a great heavy mid-paced riff and drum beat. The vocalist then comes in at around the minute-and-a-half mark to add some more class to the sound of this song. We break down to a slower pace for the chorus with added piano. A nice chugging guitar then takes us back to the verse of the song. At the 4.5 minute mark, we get another keyboard solo, backed up by that excellent chugging riff. Everything breaks down to just guitar, ambient sounds, and the vocals. Guitars come back in, and in all this song again reminds of Latter Day Enslaved with its pacing and guitar work. The keyboards take centre stage again, swelling in volume over the guitars and drums. The whole band then stop, and we are left with the sound of a thunderstorm for the last 30 seconds of the song, and indeed album. Combine elements of gent with touch of UK band Sixth to their riffs, black metal ambience, shades of Enslaved, and progressive metal, definite shades of Devin Townsend's solo work in their sound. The Great Discord are really a special band you all need to check out. With great vocalists, superb musicians, a fantastic grasp of how to make progressive music without making it overly long or seem boring, and always keeping the listener intrigued and guess as to what's going to happen next on the song, and always happy to reinvent themselves and experiment as the album goes on. Duende, if that's how it's pronounced, is a superb album at the start to what could end up being a fantastic career, and a band that really pushes the boundaries of progressive metal music. So, do yourself a favour, pick up this album when it's released, and don't let this band just fade into obscurity. I have been Psychosin. Feel free to support the show by clicking, obviously, here for the Patreon if you wish to support the show, so I can hopefully improve my recording equipment and get better sort of video editing software at some point. Anyway, well, thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe. I've been Psychosin, and I'll see you next time.